dropping.
Dropping.
And during dropping you were saying no target, no must, no concept, no
goal.
No goal. Yeah. Meditation in a certain way, without goal, and staying in presence. For example, body scan. I can understand this as a goal, but I think this is not the way you meant.
I mean, drop everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, you know.
Sure.
When you leave here, what I offer you when you sit with me is the taste of what is here when you drop everything. This is like what I've found, like the most direct. It takes you right there. It takes you all the way home. Because for as long as there is somebody there with some technique and some practice and there's still a separation.
I can see this.
Yeah? It creates the seeker. Recently, this year, I was in a 10-day retreat, and I went there just because I wanted to cut all kinds of, I just wanted to be in a silent place with no distractions. So I went for this retreat, and the sitting in silence was just all I wanted, and it was just beautiful and wow. Yet I almost couldn't stand to be there. I had to leave. I had to, I couldn't, because the techniques and the practices were like a noise for me. Like so much effort, like the leader, the teacher, was giving all the techniques and practices, and there were 50 or so people, and I was just like feeling exhausted with all that work that we're supposed to do with all this practice. And you know, I just closed my eyes and just let go into that, and it's just right here. And then the questions that were coming from the students or the people, participants, I could see that, you know, they were all like about the practice and about the technique, and when I breathe here and when I do this and this bit. And I could see that they were it was just it was just creating a seeker. A seeker who is trying to get somewhere, which is, for as long as there's a seeker, there's no recognition.
No.
Because the dropping is the dropping of the seeker also, dropping of the seeking.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But it takes a certain readiness. I could also understand that what the guy was doing had its place, because they were mostly beginners, and the readiness is not there to, you know, it's like somehow for those people they need to go through that.
Yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't be ready just for this message, but you know, to be really honest, that's what I'm here for, right? I feel that the time is here for it to be really a fast, quick, direct way. The readiness is in existence, it's here. You might find that while you're doing all the scanning and the this and the that, you're busy.
sure, there was some development in the path.
Yes.
And of course, yes, there was a seek, or there was like these questions: am I doing all this stuff in the right way? But what it was bringing to me was bringing up cooking stuff and staying with it and looking how it arrives and goes away. So for me it was wealth to go through.
Sure. I cannot say, you know, in all the steps in the story of Ananta's path that brought me to sit here, how every moment has been valid. Yeah?
Yeah.
And there was a time when, you know, I was doing dynamic, screaming and taking the pillow and, you know, and all that stuff. It was fantastic, but I couldn't imagine to do any of that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet you could. It's all in its place. I don't say, I don't throw away anything. You know, everything has its place. Yet my vision is that there's a huge change happening, the same as the change in the planet, in the spiritual teachings. All the thing of the past is about to all fall away, you know?
This is a good question, good answer.
It wasn't a bad question.
I feel, that I got the answer. I was somehow like I can live with.
Right.
So coexistence.
Right.
And
And you might notice, Rito, that you feel a bit of relief with that. It's like, oh, that work, scanning and breathing into the heart and to the right side. And you know, the retreat I was in, you had to count the breaths every 7, and then from 1 to 7, then 7 to 14, and 14 to 21, and 21 to 28. Oh my God.
Oh no.
You know, and all the way up, and then 1 to 21, and and people were coming back and saying, when I get to breath number 15, these questions, you know.
I'm not in that kind of.
No, I know you're not, but you know, I just point at techniques.
Yeah. No, this would keep me too much busy in the mind.
Yeah. But these are professional yogis, you know. They are awakening the Kundalini and the la la la, tra la la, blah blah blah, da da da, and waiting for higher realms and all this stuff, right? And in all of that, there's a missing that you are that. You have always been that. You can never be anything else but that. Just let go of it all and slip right into the vastness of who you are, and that itself will reveal itself. And sure, there are realms upon realms upon realms upon realms in existence. They are all here. It depends on what you give your attention to is where your experience. So when you only give your attention to sinking into what you are, that just goes on revealing itself, and you enter realms, you know, but it's all here. It's all here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Were you going to say something, Matthias?
Yeah.